I think this one is fine.
Okay, everyone. Now we are starting next session. The original speaker, Risky, had some problem and he cannot arrive in Hong Kong, so we have another speaker instead of the Risky. Now, Mr. Wong Hua, Mr. Wong Hua, we want to share some experience for GovZero, GovZero HK, Hong Kong. Yeah, actually, I'm also a volunteer for GovZero Taiwan too, but I didn't know they already have the GovZero in Hong Kong. So I think it's very interesting thing and very inspired for us to take people to join us take a tech. So let's warm welcome Mr. Wong.
So morning, I love to meet everyone. So actually, I'm prepared this slide like this presentation kind of rushed because I was notified until 2 days before this conference. So if I do not fill in any information you want to listen, so just feel free to ask. So let's get started. So I would like to talk about the open data problem in Hong Kong, and then the website I made for the GovZeroHK.io, and then the tech stack which like 80% will be in Python. So I would like to talk about the problem and the solution into the open data in Hong Kong. So about myself. So currently I actually data scientist in a retail company, and then in my daily times or the times after home, so I would do the Python development. I would work on the open source development and open data development. So also we try to push the government to open up more data and then ask them why the data quality would be that bad. And also would have the regular hackathon in Jordan like every 2 months. So this is a very frustrating problem in Hong Kong when we talk about the open data. So some basic principles like the machine processable, like the granularity, like in some open standard, in some open file formats, that's very basic elements of the open data, however, which is not happening in Hong Kong. So the very first problem is that the government does not know what it is. So when you talk about the open data, when you talk about something you need, they will just say, hey, I already upload data to the website or to their data portal. So which means that the open to their side is like, hey, I give you the public access to the data. However, the data quality, the data format, the data integration problem will not be that good. So let's take a look in this website, and you will see what open data to them means. So for example, so back to the page. And you see that there are several versions of the several language in the open data. So we just check one to one, you see why. So I think you should load the answer by last because they just treat open data as just like publication of some data. However, they really misunderstood the term that the means of open data. For example, you can see that this is some very, very unstructured information. So, and then in a way that it provides different language version for the same data, which doesn't make sense for the open data usage. For example, the API integrations, the data analytics, So, So when you click into the open data portal, you will see the file format. As you can see, there are a little bit delay here. As you can see, there is a JPEG format inside, so it is really frustrating. And what you can see is So they are trying to call this as open data. So I think at this point, most people would agree that the term open data is really like distorted in the Hong Kong government. Okay. So another problem would be like not enough information freedom. So for example, in Hong Kong, we unlike Taiwan or in Singapore or in UK, we do have an act called the Freedom of Information Act. So which allows you to engage the government and ask for certain non-confidential information. For example, the land usage data, for example, the traffic data, however, which doesn't happen in Hong Kong. So we are kind of stuck when we ask the data or from the government. So for example, if I draft an email to the roads department and then they just never reply, like for example, I asked for some real-time traffic data like 1 year ago, and then the email was still there, they still got any reply. So the third point would be the machine processable problem, like just I have shown you that the image then is supposed we want to extract the data inside the green cell and then the geographical location in terms of latitude and longitude. However, when someone gives me a JPEG, I cannot push it further. Okay, so when we talk about the PDF, so because the government has so many PDF, so for example, yeah, like this. So, and also like, this. So the problem is that if you want to do their analysis on the politician activity, for example, what kind of questions they ask, what kind of topic they focus on, how many people will be absent, how many will be present, when do they leave early, so that would be a kind of problem because the file format and it's not really accessible to developer like us. And also another weird behavior is that when you talk about the government document, you will see some PDF, okay? And inside PDF is no longer like the text document, like what I can see like the text inside. Instead, they scan a photocopy of printed document and then put it back into PDF. So that makes no sense, and then you cannot do the text processing because it's not really a text but 2D array of pixel, and then you need to do the OCR stuff like, yeah, so crazy stuff, yeah. So, and then we can talk about some other problems, blah, 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 yeah. So what we are trying to engage or kick off is to, by the civil hack, we open up more data when deal with more real-life society problem. We make use of our existing technology to handle the society problem and then improve the life of our citizens, like enriching the knowledge we can know from the government. Like for example, if we open up more data, if we open up more information to the citizen, then we know more, and then the power we have increases more. So let's go to the demo site. So this is the website I had. This is the first website I have made. So this is just like the legislative website, but in a civil hacking version. This is not the official one, but most data from the accessible from the official website are being processed and cleansed and then represented in a better way. So for example, if you go to the, but sorry, the data will be a little bit outdated. We need to do some processing to update the data. So for example, if we go into index page, we can see that which legislator or which lawmaker speak most in the meeting. And for example, in here I speak like 360 times. And meanwhile at the left hand side is the absence time. So for example, this lawmaker absence have been absent for 26 times already. And let alone the data is outdated. So when I refresh the data, so these people probably absent more than what we just see now. And then here is the visualization of the votes results. Just as you can see that base, and we can see the topic, and we can see the result. Result is being negative, and here are the votes. So at the left-hand side, so those are people who vote for positive, and the right-hand side, the middle side would be negative, and then the right-hand side would be absent or just give up. And here are the and the visualization or the simple web page of the build. So for example, at 2016 is being published, and the first ribbon in the mid of the January, and then the third meeting will be in the June. So this amendment or this bill is already passed in 2016. So the website is like using many stuff. So we just go through one by one. So Solar is the open source full text search engine, and combined with Haystack. Haystack is an interface in Django which allows you to build up the models easily within the Django and do the first full text search easily. So Scrappy is a very famous web scraping library, and Django will be used here is like a CMS. So the secant we use here is the data portal. Oops. So it's kind of error. I need to fix that. Anyway, so it's an open source data portal we use. So and then MySQL, LXML, PDF Miler, and so on. So PDF Miler plays an important role here. So it tries to pass to PDF pass to PDF and then turn into some structured information, and then I will put it in MariaDB. So this is in the left hand side, we can see that this is the original PDF, and after PDF Miler, we change the PDF into the data records in the MySQL. Yeah, so this is how we use the PDF Miler in processing PDF. So for example, we would first process the table of the content first, and then we break down the speech into different lawmaker by the table of the content, and then later on we do we have different kinds of regular expression to do the processing. And finally, we create an Django object and save to the database in the MySQL. And similarly, we do the same thing to the vote record. In vote record, the situation will be far better because the vote record already in XML format. So we just use the LXML to do the simple passing and turn it into a database row and save it in the database. So another solution we have been using is called the Morph.io. So Morph.io is a free website developed by developed by the Open Data in Australia. So the idea is that you don't need to do some server hosting or a cloud source resources allocation. They do for you. So all you need to do is put the scraper or the parser or the data fetcher in the GitHub, and then just tell them the GitHub repository location. They will do the rest for you. So in here you can see that there's some information on the page. The first information would be the console output of the last one attempt. So here they have a scheduler which calls your scraper every day. So you don't need to do yourself. It is done automatically. Oh, and then you can preview the scraper data in the build session. As you can see that the information is being passed into different kind of columns. Like for example, the title name, the committee name, the subcommittee name, the meeting date, and background information, some reference URL, and so on. So the data can be published in two ways. The first, of course, is to download like a table in CSV format. And the second way would be, and similarly, we have the SQLite database. And secondly, we have the API. So for example, if we call the API, as you can see, it returns a JSON automatically. So that way you don't need to care about how are we going to publish the data, but instead you just worry about how you scrap the data. Okay, let's go to the source. So as you can see that the code is kind of simple. This is an image generation. I'll tell you where the image is. And then this is the way we scrap the data. Let me zoom in a little bit. So we simply make a HTTP request, and then we put it in we form the string by the string concatenating and the information extraction from the dictionary, and then we publish it in the Slack. So here the background is like that because we want to have an automated alarm for this kind of invitation from the Legislative Council. So we scrap the HTTP response, and then we do the scheduled job every day, and then we turn the information into a Slack bot. So the output is that. Yes. So every day, if there is new invitation from the Legislative Council, we turn the information into a Slack channel. So in that case, then we can let the participant or user know, hey, there is a new invitation, so you can join in certain day to raise up your opinions in the council. So Django, let's talk about the Django. The haystack, and the idea of haystack is that, so if you have been writing the Django model, then you just need to declare the fields, for example, the header, the year, the member name, and the content, so on. So what haystack help you is that you don't really need to know how to create stuff in the Solr, but instead you just need to create a model in the Django. And after that, you just need to run field command, and indexing will be done automatically. So here is the website. So for example, if you search for the keywords like that's the open data in Chinese. And if it gives you the result, so this is not done by the MariaDB, this is done by Solr actually. So then, and it will give you the question and answer. Yeah, so as you can see that the model is just like the basic informational schema of your record. So this is a basic model, so you have a year, so a bureau, and so you program the member, the question and answer, and so on. And so here is the search index you need to declare. So basically you just tell the Solr or the Django what kind of property or attribute you use to index your document. So after you have written 2 Python files and then you come up with the full text search automatically, okay. So finally we have the CCAN Open Data Hub. So yeah, unfortunately it's done already. So right now I need to fix it after this session. So thank you and hope you're happy with the Python. And lastly, we have a few advertisements that. So PyConHK have the cyber hacking, the hackathon event every 2 months. So last time we have it in the late October. So the next one will be in the late February next year. So I hope you can join and do some coding with us. Thank you.
Thank you. And is anyone have a question? Yeah, because now we have lunchtime.
I just came in late. I just would like to know your software here. Is it free or is it a subscription? Or if I want to use a scraper, how can I subscribe it?
Okay, so actually, I don't think I think I would say in that way. You can always use our subscriber from the GitHub. You just need to clone the source code and run the Python yourself, and that's it. So, however, I think the best way to share information with you is not the source code because you need to set up your environment your own way. So actually, we do have API. So, but since it is not very stable yet,
so we can just use the API and submit the parameters, and then we can just start the scraping.
Yes, exactly. Let me show you the API. So
the API.js, right?
yeah, we have a separate API server for this kind of information. So it looks like a little messy because most of the stuff is in Chinese. However, yes, it's something like this. So once you have the endpoint of our API, then you don't really need to care about the scraper source code and stuff. But of course, we are always happy to give you source code and then hope you to contribute back to your source code. Yes.
Okay, I think everyone is hungry, right? So not.
Yeah, let's have lunch earlier.
Yeah. So if you have a question, you want to talk to the speaker directly, and before you go to it, and something I have to announce. First of all, we have a survey and we will send to you by email and we give you some feedback for the PyCon. And the second one is that we have some drop bike and some savage board and the job board and the few concourse. Yeah, please feel free in the probably in there. I didn't know where. And another one is if we're hungry today, we can get 2 meals for once. Thanks. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.